At 8 years old, I was being molested by my stepfather. When I was 10, I woke up and my stepfather came into the bedroom. My sister said, please don't do it, Melanie's in the room. And he began, accosting her, and then he got on top of her. So I laid there very afraid. I went and told my mother the next day. She told Fred that he had to leave the house. The next morning, Fred came to the door, so she cracked the door, and he pushed through the door, came in. He pulled something out of his pocket. He shot my mother. And I heard my sister say, no, Daddy, no. The shot went off again. And he came, he tried to shoot me, but the gun didn't work. I was the one that told my mother that he was doing this. And she put him out. And then he came back and killed her the day after Thanksgiving. I went through a life of never forgiving myself for that. I kept telling my mother, I'm sorry. And I kept telling Mary, you had a more life to live, and I stopped it for you. And I hated me. I hated Melanie. I had a terrible childhood, even though I made it through, but I kept quiet most of the time. And then as I got older, I was 17, I graduated from high school, met a very, very, very handsome man. We got married down in Los Angeles courthouse. About 2 months later, he started beating me. And I just was wondering, is this because I told on my mom? Is this what my punishment is I'm gonna be beat up by the man that I love? He continued on beating me through both my pregnancies. So I decided I gotta get my kids out of here. About 3 months later, I had enough money to put down on an apartment. I got my baby safely away. But at that time, I was pretty messed up in my mind. I was thinking about all the mistakes I made, and he was another mistake I made. And I seemed to mess people's lives up. That's exactly where my head was. So I started doing drugs. I started doing angel dust. And I liked the angel dust because it made me go other places. I'm thinking, I don't want to deal with people anymore, I'm messed up, so if I'm messed up, they're gonna get messed up. And in my hurt and in my pain, I OD'd myself, and I didn't wanna be here anymore. I just said enough is enough. In that OD, I hear a voice talking to me, and it's saying, Melanie, Melanie, my name is Jesus. If you follow me, I'll show you the way. And I'm thinking, am I dead or am I alive or am I what? But I'm hearing all of this and I'm dealing with this conversation. And I said, okay. The next morning, I was alive. My whole life started changing. I started seeing that I blamed me for a lot of things, and I gave up a lot of life for that. I started seeing that I have to forgive all those people that wronged me. It was hard. At first I was gonna give up on Christ instead of forgive, because I'm not forgiving nobody. They were wrong, and that's that. But I really realized that it wasn't hurting them, it was hurting me. And I had to raise those boys. So I came off all the drugs, and I just wanted to take care of my babies. In the midst of me getting all these kids coming to Sunday school now, and we're having such a good time, my 15-year-old son, he decided now to move out to be by his older brother. And he said, it's time for you, Mom and Dale, to live your life. So he moved into Oceanside. I noticed that there was kids coming around a lot over there, and one boy really loved the color red. He told me that he had a truce going on with a gang called Bloods and a gang called Crips. And I'm saying, I'm not comfortable with that, and you don't have the right spirit with you to work with them. And Dee said, come on, Mom, you work with kids all the time. And I said, Dee, you can't be hanging around with kids like this. 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings, and I answer the phone. And the man on the phone was saying to me that, we have your son here, ma'am. He's been killed. He's been murdered. And I'm like, no way. And I fought God, Jesus, and anything else. I've lived my life. I'm the one that messed up people's lives. Take me. When I finally went through my battle with God, I fell on my face and I asked God to forgive me, because how stupid could I be? Jesus died on the cross for me, and I really went through everything. And spiritually, I was changed. Spiritually, the Holy Spirit just changed me. And from that day forward, I've been taking care of people, working with children that people don't even want to touch. And I'm sad for a lot of things, but whatever I can put my hand on, I'm going to try to give a piece to somebody of love. Dante murdered my child. It was the boy that loved the color red. He got life in prison plus 15 years without no parole. They let me speak and they said, would you like to say anything? And I just looked at him and I said, Dante, I said, my son loved you. He loved you very much. I just pray that you will find peace and you'll be in my prayers. My son said, no, Mom, you better not. Mom, if I show you the pictures of what your son looked like and everything, you would never, ever forgive him. That's what my family was saying. That's what everybody was saying. And I was like, sorry, I was gonna go see the boy that killed my son in prison. When Dante came out, he was real tall, and he hugged me, and I found myself putting my arm around him. I didn't feel a murderer that killed my son. I felt my son, and I called him my son from that day on. I said, you may have taken his life, but God has given me yours. I don't believe that he should have life in prison without parole. Who's to say how he's going to turn out as a man? And I went to Washington, D.C. with 99 other people to the Supreme Court to fight for Dante's life. Now that I'm in the prisons, I'm meeting a lot of kids that's in there for life without parole, and now they have a chance to come out. And you can't imagine what I see when I go into the prison system. It is miraculous. They're truly making it. It's a beautiful thing to see. I'm so blessed to be here. It was forgiving Dante that made me realize I had to forgive me. It's more important to love and forgive than to hold on to the pain and the hurt. None of it was my fault. I just happened to make it through a life of pure hell, and I give it all to my Lord. I really do. And I wouldn't trade him in for nothing in the world. And that's where I'm at today. And that's my story.
What struck me about Melanie's thing was just the strength to carry on. You know, it's good to be in touch with people that can make you grateful and show you a way forward like her. And I think she's got a lot to offer for everybody. It's just astounding how anyone can put one foot in front of the other.
There's so much about this tattoo. It's amazing because I've never had one.
Well, I think the kids at the Youth Authority are going to get a bang out of it. That's a good thing.
This is a new chapter in Melanie Washington's life. I'm going to be tattooed. I'm going to say something to people. And I want them to see it and ask why, so I could tell them. The life is right in this tattoo. My whole life is here.